Hey guys, it's Ani. In today's video, I have a beautiful success story to share with you. And I am going to help those of you that have been anxious, worried, frustrated, doubtful, fearful, maybe even questioning if your thoughts create at this point. If you've been in that zone, if you've been in that mood, if you've been in that vibe, I am here to help. It's going to be one of those amazing Friday videos, you guys. So stay tuned. I also am going to talk about Valentine's Day. So stay tuned for that too. Just fix my camera. Okay, there we go. My camera loves it when I like touch it. It's like I'm like blessing it or something for the remainder of the video. But if you ever see me do that, I'm just making sure everything's high quality for you guys. But you guys, let's just get into it. Grab your drinks, your snacks, everything you need to get. Grab your phone, grab your journal. You might want to take notes, okay? So, you guys, I met with a client recently, and she tried out one of the courses. Actually, I think it was a bundle course, Manifest Your SP Now and Money and Abundance Now, I think. I don't remember which bundle it was, but she was waiting to get a session with me. And in that process, she was like, let me just try a course. Like, I want to get started on something, right? She was determined. So we finally met at our session, at our first session, and she told me that she was manifesting. So she's been on her journey, right? She's been manifesting this specific person of hers to come in more affectionate, more loving, more caring, to make them like more official, to get a more official commitment out of this person. um and there was a relationship before, but they had a fallout and they reconnected again. And on this journey, she's been working towards changing her story about her and this person, right? So she manifested to, she was working on like staying over for the weekend, like with her specific person at his place. And prior to this, like there were always circumstances. It was always like, oh, I can't this weekend, or I don't think we should, it's too soon. Like he was always giving off like not ready vibes, or like unsure, like if they should take it to the next level or not, right? And she understood why that was happening. It was because she was viewing him that way too, because of everything that's happened in her history with this person. She had a lot of doubts and fears, and she was allowing those doubts and fears to be a part of her story. Like when she would think of it, of staying over, she would always think like, no, well, that happened, and then this happened, and then this happened, and maybe that's why it won't work out this time. So that was pushing out. Those circumstances were pushing out in her reality. So she did the course. She did it for, I believe, a few weeks while she was waiting for a session with me. And guess what happened? She told me during our session that he finally called her over and said, when you come over, pack your things up because you're going to be staying all weekend with me, because I want to experience this weekend, this whole weekend with you. I want to share this time with you. I think it's time for us to be sharing, experiences with each other on a daily basis. So it was just so beautiful. She was so excited. And this is why I love what I do, you guys, because when you see the work you put in pay off, and when you see for your own self that your thoughts create your reality, the story you have playing within is creating and pushing out. If you're a little patient and you persist, you will see the results. That's why I love what I do. That's why I help all of you guys, and it's just so beautiful. So if any of you guys are like doubting, stressed out, worried, in that manifesting the same thing as this person is, camera, come on, work with me. All right. If you guys are manifesting the same thing she is, or even just movement with your specific person, or any of this, right? Just you're trying to see your thoughts create in your reality, stay tuned. Um, so proud of her, girl. If you're watching, again, I'm so proud of you. I can't wait for you to share the next success story and the next success story with me, every level of this, right? Um, what she wanted me to share with you guys. And she said, like, I always ask my clients, like, if I were to share this story, if you would allow me to share your success story, on the channel, what tip would you like me to share with the audience? And her tip was, even if it seems like nothing is moving, there's always movement. There's always movement. And I agree with her 100%, because I've noticed that with my specific person too. When you think there's no movement and you're going crazy and you're like, oh my God, like, can we just see a little glimpse of something? Like, come on, right? Even when you don't, and then like later on when they eventually do push out and you're experiencing some movement, you see what was happening in all that stagnant um time frame, right? Like, for example, this person's SP2 was like, I've been thinking about it for a few weeks now. And she was like, okay, like in her mind, she was like, well, I've been doing the work for a few weeks now. Like, I've been really on top of the work for a few weeks now, right? And he's finally pushing it out. Like, it feels like a miracle every single time, you guys. So props to her, you guys. I hope that helps any of you watching this. Another thing I want to get into is, I recently changed the wallpaper on my phone, and I feel like I want to share it with you guys, because I'm going to follow this up with a Neville quote as well. Let me share it with you. Hold on. Okay. So it says, so tell me what this is the wallpaper. It says, so tell me, what is the deepest secret of life? And the life answers back and says that you are the only one here. So we all interpret stuff in our own way, right? But the way I interpret this, and if you agree with me, comment down below. Sorry guys, I want to fix, okay, there we go. I want to fix this so you guys can see it in good lighting. I don't know why it's doing that. That we are the only one here, right? That is the secret, the deepest secret of life, that you are the only one here. How do I interpret that? Well, you guys have heard me say this in other videos of mine, where this is your movie and you're the only director, right? You are the only one that gets to assume things and believe certain things and imagine things. It's only you. You might say, oh, well, this person has an opinion, that person has an opinion. If you view it that way, that will play out. Their opinion will matter in your reality. It will play some part. But when you remember that you're the only one imagining, visualizing, affirming, assuming, creating, it's only this, right? It's a game changer. That is the purpose of this. For you to understand that only this is the computer. This is the power. The subconscious, the imagination, you know? And guess what? Yes, there are other people in our reality playing, roles in our reality. But the whole point of this is, like, how can you direct a movie without actors, right? Like, how can you experience certain experiences without the people you want to experience it with, right? So I know a lot of people are like, yeah, but like, other people have their own, those of you that don't know about law of assumption, or like some people that come into your life and say, oh, that's wishful thinking, whatever. Like, They are not where you are at, right? Your life brought you to a certain point where it just all clicked, where you came to do the research, where you started reading the books, where you started, watching the YouTube videos because you noticed things happening in your life that was like, okay, I was just thinking that played out. I was just thinking that and that played out. I was just thinking that that person said that back to me, like word for word. What's going on here? Research, right? Thoughts creating reality, The Secret, law of attraction, law of assumption, all of this, right? So I want you to come back to the understanding of you are the only one directing your movie. And you need the people in your reality. You need these characters. You need them. You need them because you want to experience certain things. We live in a society where we work, right? So we need a boss. We need customers. We need clients. We live in a society where we want to experience love and commitment and families, right? You need the characters to play those roles so you can experience those things. The purpose of this is for you to experience your power on this physical realm with characters there to help your story flow beautifully. Okay? Now, what happens to most of us is before we come to this knowledge, we've already created stories. Before we come to this knowledge of law of assumption and our thoughts create, we've already created limiting beliefs, we've created blocks, we've created, undesired experiences in our reality, and we would like to change those things, right? And when you're used to doing something a certain way, like just going off autopilot, right? When you're not used to your God of your reality, and then now you're all of a sudden told, hey, you know what? You're God of your reality. Like your thoughts are creating everything. Your assumptions, your visuals are creating everything surrounding you. Like maybe you should check in on your thoughts. You're like, okay, that sounds fun, right? Let's get going on that. But then when you really, really want something, you're like, I don't see it yet. I don't see it yet. What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Like, that's when the frustration kicks in. That's when the doubts kick in. That's when the fears kick in. That's when you kind of, you're like talking yourself out of this. You're like, no, like, maybe this is BS. Maybe none of this is real. Maybe this is all wishful thinking, right? I want you to know, you guys, everyone goes through that. I went through that. Everyone goes through that on this journey. Like, it's more believable that this is like a coincidence, right? Because all your life you've thought that. And then now you're just like stumbling upon my thoughts create. So the old programming has been there longer, right? So don't beat yourself up over this, you guys. We all go through bad days. We all go through impatient days. We all go through that. But my point of the wallpaper that I showed you is you are the only one here. You are the only one directing your movie. I'm a character in your movie helping you along your journey. All these other people are characters in your movie. You're viewing life. You're picking and choosing what you desire, what you don't desire, what you rather focus on, right? So it's all just like a filtering out game, a fun game. You're meant to have fun with this, you guys. I'm going to share a Neville quote with you right now, but I'm going to go back to a topic about what to do when waiting almost for your manifestation or in the middle, okay? So there's this Neville quote, you guys, I really like. There goes my camera again. All right. There's this Neville quote, you guys. And it's very important. If you judge after appearances, you will continue to be enslaved by the evidence of your senses. I'm going to read it again. If you judge after appearances, you will continue to be enslaved by the evidence of your senses. What does that mean, you guys? So if you continue to view your 3D reality and base your future on your 3D evidence, you will be running in a little hamster wheel over and over and over again. Okay, this is very important, you guys. For those of you that do not have your manifestation yet, and for those of you that are not experiencing any movement, please listen carefully. And this helped me a lot. Like, I had to really like engrave this into my brain, okay? Because I had a stubborn brain that didn't want to, you know, just wanted the fast way out. If you're anything like me, comment down below. But if you continue to base your feelings and emotions and your faith on your current reality, on only what your senses can see, your future will not push out any other different evidence. You will continue to manifest the same old experiences you have been manifesting, whether it's in money, in relationships, in family relation, in everything. You will continue to manifest the same thing over and over again, or you won't see movement, or you'll see the opposite movement. If you are basing your feelings and emotions and your faith on what you've already lived, okay? In manifesting, we do not base our faith or our emotions or our feelings or beliefs or what's to come. We don't put our hope in what we've already created. We don't look back and say, oh, that's all we created so far, so that's as far as I can get. We don't do that. A lot of us do that, and we don't realize we're doing that. So that's why I'm saying this so like loud and clear for the people in the back too. Like, you must view a different scene, a different story. You must imagine, pretend on your what you want to see. And most of the time, you probably haven't seen those things happen in your reality. So you can't look back there, right? Like, how should I say this? Analogy time. The best way I can describe this is you want to see yourself in a certain picture, and you're looking through the photo album of what you've already taken a picture of, and you can't find that picture. You're like, no, I want a picture in front of this mansion with my Lamborghini and my SP next to me. Where's that picture? I can't find it in my album. Where is it, right? That's what a lot of people do when manifesting. It's not in the album because you haven't experienced it yet, but you want to. So we're not going to look in here for that picture. We're going to look in here, and the more we look in here, eventually that picture will end up in here in the future, right? So you do not look backwards to create your future. You have an imagination for a reason, and I say this in every one of my videos, and you guys are probably tired of it, but I don't care. I'm going to say it because it's very important. You have an imagination for a reason. This is for those desires that you have not experienced yet, but you will like to experience. If you like to experience having a red Lamborghini, and I bet you some of you are manifesting that, the fact that I even said that, it's everyone's you pushed out. I've never said red Lamborghini in any of my videos before. But let's say you're manifesting a red Lamborghini, or you're manifesting your specific person to marry you and give you like a 5-10 carat ring, right? That has not happened yet. So it would be absurd to look in our past evidence, right? And look for, like, build our faith through that, right? That's what a lot of people do, you guys. I cannot tell you how many times I used to do that and how many times, like, clients do that too. It feels more real when you've experienced something. It feels more real and easier to manifest that, obviously, because you have experiences of it, you have memories of it, and it seems possible because you've lived through it, correct? Something you have not lived through yet seems impossible. Something you have not touched felt, experienced yet feels impossible to manifest. This is why we have an imagination. We have to put it to work. And that's why I love this quote. I'm going to read it again. If you judge after appearances, you will continue to be enslaved by the evidence of your senses. Do not be enslaved by the evidence of your senses. Senses do not matter. I had no sense of winning a jackpot when I hit my jackpot, my first jackpot. I had no sense of certain experiences with my SP, commitment with my SP when I got commitment. But I was imagining. And imagination, you guys, I want to set this clear. Imagination doesn't only mean like visualizing a scene. It could be through your affirmations. It could be through your inner conversations. It could be through your journaling, scripting a new story. It could be writing a rough draft of your success story. You guys can try that too. Write a I'm not going to say it's like fake. Write a pretend success story and watch how that pushes out. The other day I was watching a video and Megan Thee Stallion, one of the interviewers was like, you're like number one on this list, you're number one on that list, you're number one female rap artist of whatever year, whatever. And he was just saying all these achievements she's made, right? And then she's like, yes, 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 thank you. And then this guy was like, how? She's like, I manifested it. I used to say that I am in the past when I wasn't. I used to say that I'm going to be. I used to say that, hey, you guys watch how I'm going to do this. You are talking to the number one female artist of, 2021 rap or whatever. Like, she's like, I would envision myself like that. I would write that out. And so many people, like, I'm sure if you go and research it, so many people, like, talk about their manifestation, the success, the fame, the relationships, like that it once was a thought. It once was a thought, you guys. Just like how the success story I shared in the beginning of this video, that it was once a thought for my client to be spending her weekends with her specific person, and now she's living it, So please do not base your faith on what you've already experienced and the evidence happening now. Whatever is happening now in your reality does not matter. If there are circumstances, those circumstances do not matter. You can still get what you want if you persist in your desired reality. Now, it's very important, you guys, to keep your faith going, because if you don't even have faith in that your thoughts create, or you're not like putting it to the test that your thoughts create, it's going to be difficult, because your old programming of you're just living life day to day and you have no power and you have no choice, or you have no, any kind of like control over this life of yours, that will overpower this new knowledge you're learning, because that's just been a majority of your life. Like, that type of thinking has been the dominant way of thinking, right? So just like anything else, like if something's heavier, it's going to overpower, right? So right now, your old dominant programming is just heavier. The programming where you don't think you're in control, the programming where you don't really believe your thoughts create your reality, that if it's heavier here, it's gonna try to like reel you back in, like, no, don't go, like, forget it, don't worry about thoughts creating, don't worry about that stuff. You got to be like, I'm gonna worry about that stuff. I'm gonna go learn that stuff. I'm gonna put my knowledge to the test. I'm gonna do my mini intentions. I'm gonna do my scripting. I'm gonna write out my success stories so I can send them to Ani and click enter when the time comes. Send that mail out, right? Because what do you have to lose? Let's be real. Like, what do you have to lose if you persist in your new story? Your new story probably feels way better than what you've been playing out in your head. So what do you have to lose if you keep replaying that new story in your mind? The only thing you're I know what you guys, I know what you're thinking right now after I said that, because everyone is you pushed out. You're thinking, well, the more and more I play out my new story in my head, the more and more worried I am that what if it doesn't play out, or when will it play out, or how will it play out? That's what you're worried about. What if I see circumstances out there that I don't like? Okay, well, if circumstances don't matter, who cares? Who cares? Circumstances do not matter. Every single one of my clients have had circumstances. I've had circumstances in my reality, manifesting my SP, you guys. Manifesting anything, I've had circumstances. And I thought it would never play out, but it played out. Because I made sure the time I'm putting into my new story is more than the time I'm putting into my old story. That's the key to this. And remembering that you are the only director of this movie. Unless you think that either your boss can direct your life or your movie, your SP can direct your life or your movie. If you think that, then that will play out because you think that. Not because they think it, because you think it. If this makes sense, comment down below, you guys. I'm pumped up. I'm getting all these downloads from everywhere. But do not be enslaved by your current senses, the circumstances, the evidence. You will feel anxious. You will feel fearful. You will have those days. Doesn't matter. Persist. Because one day will be mediocre. The next day will be great. One day will be bad. One day will be great. I intend every single day of yours on this journey is amazing. But because you are human, we do have old programming that we created in the past that sometimes plays out, you know? But if we keep going and we fill our cup with the desired evidence we want to see, eventually we're going to be drinking only that desired evidence. You know? We're going to be experiencing that. Now, one more thing I want to say before I go, you guys. It is so important to forgive yourself for what you created in the past, for the assumptions you had of people that were not the best assumptions. If you created a bad version of SP, if you created a version that does not choose you and you're like beating yourself up for it, please forgive yourself. You did not know better. We did not know any better. Before we did our research and we knew our thoughts create, we didn't know. But guess what? It's a blessing in disguise. Those things had to happen for you to stumble upon this knowledge. It's all working in your favor. Do you see how beautiful that is? Those things had to happen for you to stumble upon this knowledge. You would not be here manifesting the life of your dreams and finding out that your thoughts create and putting it to the test and seeing it as the truth if you didn't go through those experiences. Do you see how even those negative things, what we think is negative, pushed you to this, you knowing your truth? Because everything is always working in your favor. The universe, the God, this force that's allowing us to experience our power on this physical realm, created everything perfectly. Everything is created with perfection. You plant a tree, the tree gives fruit. You pick the fruit, another fruit will grow. Just give it some time. There's no lack in this world. You messed up. You think you messed up with your specific person. Does SP have a third party? If they do, SP will show up the way you want if you view it that way. There's no lack. There's no competition. There's never competition. If you are experiencing your reality and there's a third party, whether it's in a relationship, whether even at work, if you feel like there's competition, there isn't. Those people showed up because at one point you didn't feel worthy or as a priority to fill that position in that moment. You didn't feel that. And you probably played the story over and over again that I'm not worthy, I'm not chosen, I'm not wanted. Look, 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 my evidence is proving it. I'm not chosen, I'm not chosen, I'm not chosen. And then poof, third party shows up in the picture to prove, because remember, there's no lack and there's no competition, right? So your reality is giving you what you said. So how can your reality show you that you're not a priority or you're not chosen if you've been thinking that for a while? Bringing a new person into the picture. And once you are, sorry, you guys, I'm just fixing this. The best part about this is you cannot make a mistake. Once you realize what you need to do and how, what story you need to persist in, like being chosen, let's say, once you persist in that and you go through it and you understand that things may not happen immediately, but doesn't matter. I'm going to keep persisting, because the same way I brought these circumstances in, I can remove these circumstances out of my life the same way, because everything is neutral, natural. There's nothing working against you, right? So once you persist, and now the opposite of what you created, now that position will be open, ready for you. And I know, because I went through that. And so many of my clients went through that. And now they're the priority of their specific person. Okay. You guys, I hope this video was helpful. I love each and every one of you. Thank you for all of your beautiful, beautiful comments. You guys, I love you guys so much. And the more positive stuff you guys share under our videos, the beautiful comments you share, the experiences you've been experiencing, the manifestations you've been noticing, that is helping everyone. That's helping everyone. We're spreading like this knowledge with everyone, and it's giving people, like, you know, a light at the end of the tunnel. Like, they may be feeling down right now, and your comment may help them, right? So if you guys are interested in any of my courses, links are going to be in the description box down below. It's going to be on our website, and the moment you purchase a course, you guys, you have immediate access, so don't worry about the date and time. Also, we do have our contest going for your chance to win 3 free coaching sessions with a coach of your choice. If you guys want to be a part of that, subscribe to our channel, leave a comment down below, like this video. Also, if you are interested in one-on-one coaching with me, again, it's going to be on our website. Links in the description box down below. I love you all. I intend for each and every one of you to tell me amazing news going forward. Valentine's Day is coming up, and I do want to say one thing. You are not manifesting just to see your manifestation this Valentine's Day. So for those of you worried, stressed out, oh my God, Valentine's Day is coming up. What if I don't get that call from my SP? What if I don't get that gift? What if I don't experience the romantic dinner? It's okay. It's okay. This journey of yours is not just meant to, it's not determined by this Valentine's Day. You are learning what you're learning because you're going to be experiencing 50, 60, 70 more Valentine's Days and holidays and Christmases and New Year's and Easters and everything with your SP going forward. So if not this one, but 50 more to come, because you're learning and you're applying the work, it may take a little time. You can sacrifice this one, right? But don't put pressure on yourself. And I'm not saying that because you're not going to get what you want. You guys, I'm intending all of you get a beautiful Valentine's Day dinner date, acknowledgement, gifts. I intend all of you do. But we are not going to put pressure on ourselves and make this whole journey about that one day. We're going to put in the work because so many more holidays are going to come up, so many more years to come with our specific people, and we're going to enjoy each and every holiday going forward with our specific people for years and years and years and years. Okay? All right, guys, take the pressure off of you. Forgive yourself for creating whatever version of whatever you created. Right now, in this very moment, you have a blank canvas. Keep going. You got this. I love you. See you guys.